So in our last class, we looked at this. Let's run it on the browser. Search questions. We can say how many students do we have there? So A2, B3, C4, D5. I think that students A. That's B. So let's add another one. Do you love that? A, yes. B, no. C, maybe. D, none of the above. So let's see the questions. Oh, okay. We should, I think, beside each question, there should be maybe 1, 2, 3. Right? After the first one, maybe there should be 1. Then here, there should be 2, like that. So let's fix that first. Let me close this little prompt here. Okay. So what you can do is this. Beside each question, you can do something like this. Index. So where is the question? Okay, you can say index. You know, index starts from 0, right? So you can say index plus 1, so that it becomes 0 plus 1. The first one will be 1. What I mean is this. Let's do this way. Like this. You know, 0, 1, that's now it should be. It has to start from 1, not 0. So that's why we are doing something like this. Index plus 1. So that the first question will be 1, the second question will be 2, the third question will be 3, on and on like that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, your screen is cut. Abi, it's my phone. Maybe it's my phone.
Okay. Please, everyone, can we see my screen clearly?
Maybe you should scroll from the left to the right.
Okay.
Maybe it's my own phone.
I think it's because there is no margin from the left. Maybe that's what Sherifa is talking about.
Okay, I don't really get what you're trying to say. Can you see the whole screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say, I think the easy question is, who is Nigeria president? A, Getch. B, C, D, so C. Maybe who is VP? Who is maybe Senate president? A, Lawa. B, Saraki. C, Akpabio. D, Tajuden. Okay, good. So here is it. Then next is maybe we should put option A beside each one. Like Getch, A should be there, maybe B should be at PMB, C should be at PBAT, then maybe D should be beside Shetima, right? We can do something like that. Then another thing we can do is Okay, let's look at handling the answers too. I said something in the last class. Why we are trying to solve problem, there may be need to adjust the data structure. You want to use data structure or the data structure that will make it easy for you to manipulate things. So that, because if your data structure is not good enough, you will write more codes and it's not even going to be easy to manipulate things. So you may need to adjust data structure. Although the reason we have total control of the data structure, the reason we are saying is because we are the one that created the data. But in real life scenario, you'll be getting the data from endpoint in most times, and you may have to write the codes based on whatever data structure you are getting from the endpoint. Sorry, someone wants to join the class. We have to write your code based on the data structure. But since we have our data, we are the ones controlling our data. I think it's going to be cool if we adjust our data structure to meet the codes we want to. So first is let's put ABC before these ones there. Alright, A, B, C, D here. A, B, C, D. This one should also be A, B, C, D, like that. So let's do that together. Let me close this one. Let's go back to our questions and see what we need to do to get that done. Okay, now we only pushed the answers here, or the options here. We didn't push, I mean the whatever the user types, right? Not the letter A, not the letter B, not the letter C, not the letter D. So if someone wants to join, let me quickly admit this person. So we can adjust our data structure a bit so that to cope with that one too. I'm trying to look at the best one. Okay, yeah, we can do it this way. Let's key. Since it is just key value A like this. Then key B. So we do the same thing for others. Create an object. Key B value B option B. So let's go to the next line. Key C value option C. Then key D and value option D. Okay, so we can remove this too now. So we are doing this so that it can be easy. We'll be able to find it easy to display our ABCD, and at the same time we'll still be able to manipulate our data easily. We're just using a data structure that makes it easy for us. So now what that means is that in each question now there's an ID, there's options. The options is an array of objects again. So inside the options we have key value. So let's go back, let's switch to this tab. Go back to this component. So in this component, we are looking to the questions which contains a list of all the questions, right? Each question is an object that has an ID, options, and the likes, right? Please, are we following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we can now do is this. For each of the options, this option now is no longer a string, right? It's now an object. Are you with me?
Yes.
So each of the options, that the option in options, this, I'm talking about this singular form, this option here, is no longer a string. It is now an object. And inside each object, we have a key and we have a value. So we can now say, instead of putting this now, we can just say put the key here, option dot key. That's going to give us A, B, C, D, right? Then followed by option dot value. So option dot value will be whatever the user types there. Any questions so far? Let's check it on the browser so that you get what we're saying. Let me see if there is any other adjustment that needs to be made there. I don't think so. Oh, we can't use value. We use var there, not value. Sorry. Let's go to the browser. Refresh this because the data structure has changed. So let's set new questions. President. Let's add this order successfully. Let's go here. This is what I mean. So A, B, where's our C? C is not showing. Oh, what's going on? Let's look at that. I think I typed C. Let me add another one so that I'll be able to understand where the problem is coming from. Let's say VP. Shatima. Let's see. Hello. Nobody's there again. Okay. So I think. Can you see my screen?
No.
Let me stop sharing and share again. Oh, I wasn't even sharing. Sorry. In fact, at the point I thought it was my network. When you all left at once, I was like, what's going on?
If went go salo lọ́dọ̀ mi ni. Ó sálọ. Òjò ń rọ̀, ó dà pé weather yẹn ló fọ́.
Oh yes. It's okay, no problem. Okay, let's continue. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Alright. So I think we're trying to do this. The first one, who should I go at? Shatima Okoradati. I don't know. SLS. I just said this. The outside is A, right? So let's go to our display question page. So we have this. Now C is not showing. Yeah, I think that's where we stopped. C is not showing. So let's look at why C is not showing at all. C is not showing at all. So let's go back to the set question page and look at it together. Oh, here's the reason. Good. So we have to refresh. Add new questions. President. OBJ. Abdusalam. Shagari. Then Tinubu. Then let's say Senate. President. Saki. Babu. Let's say Bankole. Then that is C. So let's hope That should be set now. Good. A, B, C, D. Right. Next is I want to be able to pick the right answer. Hope you are still following.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. I want to be able to pick the right answer. So let me close this. Okay, good. So whatever. Oh, got it. That will be on the display question page. Now, what you are trying to do is whatever the answer, or the user will come here, select the answer, then we'll check if the selected answer is the correct one, then we can display the results. Right. This is too long. Let's go to the next slide. So then we can display the result. Oh, in fact, I think it's better if you make the input itself. Yeah, like this. This will be better. And then it properly. So, when the user selects anyone, we want to pick that so that we'll be able to compare at the end of the day if it's the correct one or not. We can come here and say on change. On change, you can use on change for input, right? So that whenever the user changes the content of the inputs, let's try to do something. On change. We can say select answer. So let's get a function called select answer. Cost select answer equals to. So let's get whatever is inside that particular input, the one calling on the unchange. So you can use the events. So you can get the value, right? You can say e.target value. Please, do you have any questions so far?
Continue.
Okay. E.target.value, but the problem is we want the value of. Okay, now you see what you're saying now. We still have to make a little adjustment to this. E.target.value, and let's get the value here. So let's say console log value. Like this. So it's going to log the value of that selected one to the console. Let's open our console and check that together. So if I select this, I want it to pick B, right? Instead of giving us on. If I select this, let's say I selected Tinubu here, I want it to give me D.
Okay.
So that's the next thing I want to do. Let's undo that together. So we can now set the value now. Can give value property. The value of each one is, sorry, someone wants to join the class. Okay, let's continue. You are welcome. So we can say option dot key. The key stands for ABCD. Can you remember?
Yes.
So whatever value, or if I select any of the inputs, the value will be the key. It's going to now be either A or B or C or D. So let's go back to the console and see if that is working fine, so that we can proceed from there. So that is working fine. If I select this now, this is something. Okay, good. It's working fine. B, good. It's working fine. So let's move on from there. The next is okay, we've selected the value. Okay, next is maybe when we click on submit, there should be like a submit button, right? When we click on submit, we want to calculate all the once the user got right, then display the final answer. So let's look at let's do that together. Let's add the submit button. button, you can say submit, maybe test or something. And click of this, and click submit test. So let's get the function called submit test. So I'll do that first. So how do we get the correct ones, the ones the users entered correctly? Okay. Now there are different solutions we can use, different approaches, but I want us to limit looping. Like I want us to use as less loop as possible. So the one I'm thinking about now is we're trying to do something like this. We can use an object costs, let's say answer, or let's say answers, sets answers equals to use states, using an object to handle that part. So what we are going to do is that whenever the user selects anyone, let's assume question number 1, let's say I selected obj, right? You know, remember each question has a unique ID. Please, are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can save the ID and maybe the one the user selected, whether A or B or C or D. Yeah, let's try to use oh, there's a problem. The submit test is repeating. The submit test should just be at the end, not repeating. I think we placed it at the wrong place. Let's put it after the place. Yeah, place at the wrong place. We should place it here. So at the wrong place. That's why it's repeating. It should be somewhere here. That is after the whole tests. I can put the submit test somewhere there. So when the user selects anyone, we can keep the ID and maybe the answer the user selected. We are still using this. If need be, we may still have to still make adjustments on the best approach. I'm just trying to use the best one. So on change, select. We can send the ID and the value, right? The ID of that particular one and the value the user selected. Let's send both now. Instead of just sending the value alone, let's set the ID. To send the ID, remember each question has an ID, so we can say send question dot ID. So we are sending two things. We are sending the value and we are sending the ID. Let's console log both. Instead of just doing this now, this will be 2 var and ID. So we are displaying both the value now and the ID. Let's go to the console and declare our console. Good. So that's for the first one. The value is A and the ID beside it. If you pick another one, the value is D and it's still the same ID since it's the same question, right? So let's go to the next one. The value is D, now a different ID. The value is C, at the same ID. Question so far? Are you still following?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
Any question? Okay. So what we can do is that the answers now, we are going to keep the ID and the value inside the answers. Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep them there. We can say set answers, then previous return override whatever might be there initially, then add a new property called id and let the value be var. Now you may say that why don't we do it like this, id var. Do you know something called dynamic properties?
No.
Okay, let's quickly look at that. That's the reason we are using the approach. Dynamic property. I will use this console to explain what dynamic property is. Let's say we have a variable. The value of that variable is 6. We have an object. This object has, let's say it has a name, and we want it to be, let's say Taye, let me use my name, like this. Next is, I want, oh, sorry, let's start again. Let's say we have a variable var. The value of that is age. But we have a variable called var, and the value of var is age. Right. Then we have an object, obj. Obj is an object like this, and it has a name, and let's say the name is Taye, like this. Now I want my object, I can say I want obj dot age to be anything. Do you understand? Hello. Obj dot age, but I don't just want it to be age. I want it to be var. That means if var is anything aside age, let's say var is something else, I want it to be added inside it, right? Presently is age, so I want age to be part of obj. But even if it is not age, if it is something else, I want it to be part of it also. What I mean is that I could have said obj dot age, then maybe equals to something, but I don't want obj dot age. I want it to be obj dot whatever var is. Since var is age, yes, it's going to be age. But var is a variable, meaning that the value of var can be altered to mean something else. Do you understand?
Yes.
So instead of that, if I say obj dot var equals to 7, it's not going to give us what we want, because if you check now, if you check obj, you will see var there, and what I want is not var. I want it to be age. Hope you understand.
Yes.
I want the key name to be age, not var. So in that case, you need to make use of square bracket notation, like this, not dot notation.
Okay.
Not dot. Yeah. So we need to make use of square bracket notation to get that done. I think I have a video on it. I'll add it as part of under the.
Okay.
I think I have a video on it. So we can now do it like this. So when we now check obj now, we will see age inside it, not var that was there initially. So whenever you want the key name to be a dynamic value, it doesn't affect value, right? But when you're dealing with the key, you want the key to be a dynamic value, you make use of the square bracket notation, and that's what we are doing here. We want this id not just to be text id, but to be whatever the value of variable id is. Do you understand? So if you want it to be this, so let's console log so that we're going to get it. Let's even display it on the screen. JSON.pass. Let's pass answers. Why is this doing now? Oh, let's cut it out of this place and put it inside this div. Okay. So JSON.pass answers like this. Let's go to the browser and see what we are saying. What's going on? Sorry, it's not loading. Let's run it again. npm start. Okay. This thing is tagging itself. Okay, let's go. President. My name. Let me just put my name. B Kinde C D Alaba. Add. I say my department PSG B CSC C D sub B add. So let's go to display. Object is not invalidated. Oh, that's why I passed it so that you can display it. But it's still saying then let's use console then. That's the reason I passed it. I know you most likely display error like this. Okay, let's use just in the bar. It's throwing an error still. Let's use our console. Console log answers. Okay, so let's go to display question page. Okay, yeah, right. No, what I actually want to point out is the fact that the ID and the value are being sent to the object. Can you see the object? You know, it contains the ID and the value, right?
Yes.
So that's the major thing. That's what I want to point out. So next is we can now compare. We can now check each of them, and we still need to use loop. Okay, yeah, and that solution came. What happened is I'm trying to use loop is because we've used enough loop. We are looping here. We are looping here too. I want to find a solution that, in fact, even only two loops here like this doesn't make me comfortable. But except that this option is just 4 values. It contains just 4 values: A, B, C, and D. So it's not going to cause too much issues. Right, but let's assume it contains a lot of values also. Looping inside only a nested loop like that will make your application slow. It's going to affect the performance of your application. So still coming again to one more loop is a big concern. So I'm looking at, because if you have a lot of questions, you have many questions, we need to start looping to each of the questions, and so let's find a solution that will require maybe little loop. Because I'm also seeing a nested loop now. If you follow this approach, I'm seeing a nested loop. Okay, yeah, we can do something like this. When you select answer, okay, the ID, good.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay. we might, maybe you are going there, Sha. What if we want to shovel those questions? You know, in CBT they used to shovel questions, and they used to put a question one, maybe 0.6 marks, question
Yeah.
two, 1 mark.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Okay, we can do that too. We can do that. Maybe when we are done with this answer, like once we're able to get done with this answer, then we look at how to advance it a bit and shuffle the question. Do you get it? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I said, how can we do it? If okay, maybe we are still going to that.
Yes, we'll look at it together ourselves. We'll look at it together. Let's solve this problem. Then
Time.
once we'll look at it together.
Okay.
I think-
So continue. We can look at it later.
Okay.
Since you have what you want to teach us,
Okay.
just as.
No problem. So what we can do is ID. So like I said, if we continue with this solution, we still need to. We'll be using nested loop because I'm already thinking that we'll look through the objects, then we'll check each of them and compare it to it. Yeah, we still need loop. So maybe we complete this solution, then we now look at how to modify. I think that would be the best thing. Yeah, that would be the best thing.
Okay.
We
Yes.
complete the solution, then we adjust it immediately to see what we can do to improve it. So when we click on submit, remember we've kept the ID and the value inside an object. So we can now say when we click on that submit, we will look through each of them and compare it with the one in questions. What I'm saying is this: if you check your questions, each of your questions has an answer. The answer keeps just A or B or C or D. So we check through that and compare with the answer and see if they are the same. And if they are the same now, then fine, we'll save it. If not, we won't. Do you understand? That's what we want to do here.
Yes.
So we can use the for in to loop through a JavaScript object. So we can say for us in answers. So this is using the for in. Yeah. Then this is using the for in. Console log ans. Then console log answers index of ans, so that you see what you're saying. So this will just give us the ID and whatever the user selected.
Right.
Where is the error coming from? Ans is not defined. Oh, let's.
Okay, let us answer.
Yeah, we should have just used the suggestion. I think that's what I do most times. Let's add for in. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. But fine, we've already written it. For ans, ans in the answers index of ans, right? Or key ans. Let's run this now. So when you click on this submit, have we attached this to this button? Yeah, we've attached it to this button. So when you click on this, we just want to loop to the answers alone. I'll clear my console. Click. Oh, this thing is hanging. Yeah. Can you see it? The key and the value.
Yes.
The key and the value. So we can now use this to look through the questions, check if this key is there. Then we now check the answer. If it's the same as B, then that means the user got it correctly. Right? If it's not the same, that means the user got it wrong. Hope you get it. Do you understand what you're trying to do?
Yes, 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 yes.
So let's go back now. But this is what I was saying the other time, that we are going to now on another loop again. That's like a nested. That's actually a nested loop, and that will not be good for what we want to do, especially if you have a lot of questions. Okay, we can say, we have this for loop. We want another loop for question. We can use map easily to undo this. Yeah, onto this. Unless it's additional for loop. Oops. Index 0. Then that will be questions dot length. Okay. If Hans is the same as Hans is the key, yes, as is the key. If the same as question index dot id, yeah, if both of them are the same, and what's it called? And answers is the same. Sorry, someone wants to join the class. Let me quickly add this person.
Okay.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome back. I think you left the other time. You're welcome back. So,
Nice. We'll have to watch the recording because something just came up. I had to attend to.
I think I was telling Sharifa that it's like all of you at the meeting, you just left at once.
Really?
Yes.
I had network issue,
yeah, she had network issue, then the third person also left. All of you just left at once. And I was like, what's going on? Okay. Answer equals to, if the ID is the same and the answers are also the same, sorry, questions index of dot answer, if both of them are the same, what you're just doing here is that we are saying, ans represents the key inside answers, right?
Yeah.
Then this ans index ans, like ans, we are trying to check the whatever the user picked for that particular one. So we are now saying that if ans, what we are doing here is this. We are saying if ans, which represents the key, is the same as the key for that, it's the same as this ID here. Same as this ID here. And this answer, the answer the user picks for that particular question, if it's the same as the answer here, that means the user got that question correctly. Hope you understand. Do you get it?
Yes.
Sorry. Let's maybe score can be 0. So if that is the same, we can say score plus plus. So add 1 to the value of the score. Then let's set this value of the score to a state and display the states, and that solves the problem. So let's come here and create a state called score. Score so score can start from 0, right? Inshallah, let's copy 0. So what we just do is set score, set it to score. So whatever the value of score is, this is going to give it to us. Then lastly, display the score on the screen. Maybe your score, let's put it in maybe a div so that it will be on a separate line. Your score is score. Good. So let's look at this if it's working fine now. CSC, I think that is correct. Well, so the answer should be 1 now. Let's click on this submit and see. Good. Let's pick the 2 correctly. Click. It's still giving us 1. Why do we have 1? It should be 2 now. Should be 2. Let's fix that part too. Why is it 1? Okay, let's start to get 0. Good. Okay. Why is it 1? Okay, let's see why this is not showing. If answers is this. Oh. I think that should be the problem. Fine. Oh, I shouldn't even refresh.
Answer.
Yeah.
The answer will pick for it.
You said?
I said let's just check the answer we picked for it. Or have you seen what the error is?
Yeah, I think it's the using the plus plus score instead of score plus plus. Score plus instead of plus plus score. Post increment and the increment. I think that should be the problem. Okay.
So score plus, that is 0 plus 1.
I will explain if time permits us. I will explain post increment and pre increment. Where they differ. So let's try to get it to now. Still giving us 1. Wow, what's going on? Let's do something. Let's debug these parts together. If answer console log has and questions index. So let's look at those ones that are of salary.id. So we should get 2 now. We should have 2. Line 10. No, this line 12. Let's comment at line 12. So click on this button. Oh, the 2 of them have the same ID. What's going on? We should only just have 1. We should just have 1. Else, we should not repeat it. Okay, that's console log answers itself. Console log answers. Apply this. Click. 6, 7, and 1, 0. 1 is B, 1 is D. Right. Then okay. 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 In fact, this is what I really want to do. I have to just do it at the end of the day. Let's come here. We are trying to debug the error. Let's fix it together. Console log has, then answers, sorry, questions, index data ID has, and questions ID index data answer. So we want to console log all of this and use that to debug it. Apply this here. Okay, let's go. So for the first one, we have, okay, it's going to run let ans in ans. Yes, there are two values there. Ans will first be this QU221, yes. Then ans will be that the index should be 1, 2, 3. Now, okay, do you know where the problem is? What the problem is that for the first one, do you notice that we only have 3 instead of 4? Hello? Hello? What I'm saying is this. Do you notice this is, we only have 3 values here, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 3 here, 1, 2, 3. Here we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there is where the problem is. Let's find why this is 3 instead of 4. Now because if this is 3 and not 4, then it can't, this cannot be true. Do you understand? B cannot be the same as whatever it ought to be. So let's find which of them is missing. Is it ans? Is it, okay, I think we don't have any problem with these two. The problem is this and this. These are the problem, this and this. So we can say console log, let's split them to the next line. First console log we got this second. That's right. Let's try to debug this and let's have it together. Apply this place, then click. So we're going to see the one missing either first or second. Second is the one missing. That means the answer for each of them, the answer for one of them is not there. Let's see why it's not displaying the answer. Okay. For loop, questions, yes, question dot lines, index dot answer. Alright, okay. If this is, and so let's display the questions. Let's consider the questions and let's see why. I think that should give us an idea of what's going on. We want to look at why the answer, this questions index dot answer sometimes go missing. Let's say consider questions. That's where the bug is now. We're trying to fix that part. You know, when you are fixing bug, the first thing is you need to first understand where the problem is coming from. It's not even trying to find solution now. If you don't get where the problem is coming from, whatever solution you try to find, you won't get it right. You won't. This thing is, and then okay, scroll up here. answer. Oh, for the first one, the answer is an empty string. The answer is an empty string. For the second one, the answer is there. Here is the problem. Here is where the problem is. For the first one, the answer is an empty string, meaning that the first question we set did not even have an answer. Alright, let's fix that part. The first question we set here, this is not storing the answer of the first question. Please, are you still with me, or we are lost, or we are tired?
I'm with you.
Okay. The problem now is that for the first question, the answer is not set at all. So let's see why it's like that. Why is it behaving like that? Okay. On change. Oh. Now here is it. Here is it. On change, if the answer is A, it will actually be like that. If this is wow, it's good that this is coming up. Now, if the answer is A, let's say name, and the correct answer is A, I didn't change this. Do you understand? I didn't change this part, this drop down select button. I didn't change it, and for that reason, since I'm using onChange to undo this part, onChange, that's when it will select whatever the user types there. Are you with me?
Okay, I get.
Yeah, since it's not there, so it assumes that the value is an empty string.
A by default.
Yes, that's the default one.
But I not try to change it.
Exactly. Yes.
So I change it as empty string because it did not change it.
Exactly. That's what's going on. So, and that's why wow, interesting problem. Okay, let's find a quick solution so that we can focus on other things. Yeah. You can say we can leave this to empty initially, right? Can leave this to empty. Disabled. Select answer. Right. So you can select others now. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I think that solves that problem. Wow. Interesting problem. Where's this time hanging? So let's pick the second one. Department, physics, let's computer science, and physiology. So that's computer science. Then we select it. Good. So we can go to the display questions page. Now let's clear this part, and I think for this one, oh, we added it to the ones there initially. First, please let me refresh this so that it can clear the ones there initially, and we add new questions. So I want to check how charged the system is. 33. Okay. Still okay. Still do whatever needs to be done. Set questions. Set the name. coming. I just want to quickly check something. Still not picking it. So we need to make a later adjustment to this. This is not picking it. Okay, maybe I should just remove this disabled. Okay, good. Name. Department, Synology, Anatomy, Physics, and Computer Science. Good. So I think this should be solved now. Okay. Let's scroll up and see if the questions are, if the answers are set for each one. Good. Good. So now we should be able to run this successfully now. If this, so we can use our plus score or our score plus, whichever one. Good. Remove these parts. We've debugged it. Remove these two. Debugged it. Okay. So if you are correct, 1. Okay, good. Let's get the 2 of them correctly. 2. Good. Let's get both of them wrong. 0. So that is working fine. That's working fine. But like I said, running nested loop here is not good for efficiency. It's not good. Because if you have 100 questions, after you selected the answer, you will run this. In fact, let's assume a user answered all the 100 questions. That means for each of them, it will run this loop 100, and for each of them again, it will run another 100. That's 100 times 100. That is not good for efficiency. So let's find ways around this so that we won't have to do this thing. We won't have to run this next. At worst, we can just run it once. In worst case scenario. So we will move on. We'll comment out all of this and find a better solution around this. So let's look at this together. Answers over and okay, good. We can do something like this. You know, here we have access to the answer here. Please, are you still with me? Are we tired? Okay, I want us to complete this thing today. Okay, here we can add answer to this place. Question dot answer. So I think Google Meet is alerting us. – 15 minutes time. Okay, let's hope we finish it in the next 15 minutes. So question dot answer. We have access to the answer here. We can get it here. Answer. Okay. We can now say if answer, okay, if answer is equal to this var, that is, if the answer is same as var for that particular question, right, then we can you can save 1. Okay, let's get a variable called correct. I will explain it now. You will understand what you are trying to do better. Let correct equals to if answer is equal to var so we are using this ternary operator if answer for that particular one is same as var, the one selected by that user, that means the user got it correctly, right? We can now say let this be correct. So the ID will either be 1 or 0. Please, are you following me? Let's console log answer so that you see what we are saying. The ID will either be 1 or 0. So let's select anyone now. Console log. Okay, the next time. It's going to pick it the next time. So you can see it's either 1 or 0. This is where I'm going to. The ID is either 1 or 0. If it is 1, it means you got it correctly. If it is 0, it means you got it wrong. Any questions so far? Hello? Latif? Sharifat?
Yes.
Are you lost? Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Latif, Aisha, I think she's new to the class. I don't know if she has watched the previous recordings. So what is happening is that if it is 1, it means you got it right. If it is 0, it means you got it wrong. So at any point in time, it will either be 1 or 0. It will either be 1 or 0. So what we can do here is this. We can now say if correct, that is, if correct is equal to 1, I'm coming, let's process it for a minute or two. ID, yes, set it to 1 and 0. If it's the same, add 1. Yeah, we can now say score plus plus. Okay. If correct is equal to 1, then we can say set score equals to previous score plus 1. If correct equals to 1, that if the user got it correctly, is equal to this. Else, you want it to retain its initial value. Hope you understand. If this is correct, then you want it to add 1. Else, you want it to retain its initial value. So this displays this submit score is not even going to do anything. It's not doing anything. So we can just hide the score initially, and when we click on this, it will display it. But let's leave that for now, and let's try to fix this part. 1, good. 2, okay, good. Now here is another problem. The problem is that if I picked the correct one and I picked the wrong one, then I go back to the correct one, it will add 1 to it again, which is not what we want, right? If you pick a wrong one and go back and pick the correct one, you should not increase it to 4. The user has only gotten just 2, not 4. Let's fix that part. Alright, this becomes 5. No, that's not how it should work. Let's fix this part. You can say if quality equals to 1. Okay. If quality equals to 1 and answers. I'm coming. ID. Okay. If correct. Okay. If correct is 0. That is if not correct. And so no, I will explain what's going on now. If the person is wrong, okay, we should subtract. What you're trying to do is, I will explain what's going on. I will explain it, but just give me some second. Let me process this. Answers. Let's say it was like this initially, and correct is 0. Then you can say set star. You declare time save -1. Then finally we don't even need to. I think we should solve the problem now. Let's check it first before we go into it. Now you should not. Good. Aha. Good. It's working fine. Good. It's working fine. Let's refresh and add new questions. Name. Sorry. The answer is B. So, good, 0, good, 1, good, back to 0, correct, good, 1, good, 2, good, it's working fine now. So this is how I want it to work. But this goes, let's look at what's going on here. The explanation of this is, if when you click on anyone, when you select any of these inputs, right, when you choose any of them, it will check if it's the correct one. If it's correct one, the value of correct will be 1, else the value of correct will be 0. Now if correct is 1, that means you selected the right one and not answer ID. Remember, this ID will either be 0 or 1. If it is 0, it means you got it right. If it means you got it wrong initially. If it is 1, it means you got it right. So this here, what we are just doing is this: we are checking if the value of correct is 1, and at the same time we want to check the initial value of this thing. You know, it will either be 1 or 0. If it is 0, you know, not if you are negative, it becomes opposite, right? It becomes true. Are you with me? Hello? You know 0 is 4C. Hello everybody. 0 is 4C. Not 0 is 2T. Not 0 is 2T. But not 1 is 4C. Do you understand? 0 is 4C. There are 6 values that are 4C. 0, null, undefined, empty string. What else? There are 6 of them. Force itself. I can't remember the meaning too, but 6 things are 4C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means 1. I can't remember the last one. But 6 things are 4C in JavaScript. 0 is one of them. So what you are just doing is that you are checking whatever might be there initially. If initially the person got it wrong before now, and this time around the person is now getting it right, you want to add 1 to it. Hope you understand what is going on here. That's what you are doing with this line. Let's assume the person missed the question initially, or the person has not even answered it at all. If the person has not answered it at all, it won't even be inside the answers. It won't be inside these answers, and it will be falsy. Not falsy, that makes it truthy. So what you are just doing is that if the person has not answered it at all, or the person missed it the last time, now if the person is now getting it correctly now, you want to add 1 to the score. Now what you are doing here is that if the person got it correctly initially, but if the person is missing it now, you want to remove that 1, and that's what you are doing here. You got it initially, but when you try to redo it, what I'm saying is this. Let's say the answer is Taye now. If I now choose Kenny, I got it initially, but this time around I've missed it now, so we need to subtract 1 from it. Do we understand? Yeah. So the person got it right initially, but this time around the person now missed it. You want to subtract 1 so that the score can drop. Do you understand? You got it right, you now missed it now. You want to subtract 1, and that's what we are doing with this particular line. Then we have this. So finally, we can just, for what this submit test can just do is that we can make this invisible. Then when the person clicks on submit test, it becomes visible. We can just do something like that. Let's just say if this, we can just set this. Now you can see we are not using any loop. We can even still improve this code, but let's first complete this part. Const display score, set display score. Initially, you can set it to first. So now we now set it to 12. So it's now 2. It's now 2. So we can now say if it is 2, if it is we can say display score and this circuit is fine now. So it's not showing. Once I click on this now, it now shows our score. It now shows our score. Any questions so far? But we can still, let's have a little improvement to these codes. I'm looking at how we can improve this if parts, right? Okay, we can do something like this. Set score. Previous return if just copy these parts. Return plus 1, then copy, return 5 minus 1, 5 minus 1. We can add a final else to return 12, but I don't think that would be necessary. I'll just remove this now. So remove all of these parts. Good. I think this is a bit nicer. Let's see if everything is working fine. Okay. Not a number. What's going on? Save plus 1, 5 minus 1. Sorry, I want to really get what's going on here. Okay. Your score is not displaying score. Let's see what's going on. Oh, it's set score. Hello everybody, are you still there? Hello? Has the meeting ended? Wow. So here is where we stopped. When you try to select and it's given this NaN, want to remove this NaN. This NaN stands for not a number. Not a number. It usually occurs when you are trying to add a number to something that is not a number. Let's say you can have undefined plus 1. It gives you not a number, right? Undefined plus 2. Or if it's a string and you're trying to add one to concatenate, so the problem here is not that it's trying to concatenate, it's just that you are trying to, since all we are dealing with here is addition or addition and subtraction. If you try to do taye minus 1, it will give you NaN because taye is not a number, taye is a text, right? So, but if it's just plus, plus we concatenate it, but because of this minus, is not, this minus, let's say is a string, and you try to subtract one from a string, you get NaN. So we can solve that. I think if you had a final else, that's 300 apart. Else, return 12. So we shouldn't have the not a number, because the reason we have that, or the reason we had that initially was that, what if it doesn't meet any of these two conditions? If it doesn't meet the first one, meaning it's not going to return. If it doesn't meet this first condition, that means it will return 12 plus 1. If it doesn't meet this second condition, that means it's not going to return 12 minus 1. So in that case, we should write we should write a premise for that. In case it doesn't meet any of these two conditions, then we want it to return the previous value back, right? So remember, this is set states. What I'm saying is this. Look at this. This is set states. And whatever you put here becomes the new value of score. So if there is nothing, if you don't provide any condition for that, it will return undefined if it doesn't meet any of these two conditions. And that's why you have the not a number. Hope you understand that. Hello? Yeah. So I think that should remove the not a number from our code. Why is this saying error? Let's terminate this and run it. This is trying an error. Okay, it's loading. Compared, expected an expression, and let's fix this bug again. Oh, else return 5. Yeah, so the bug should leave now. Good. Set questions. Name. Let's say Tolu, Ajayi, Taye, Kenny. So the answer is I select Taye now. Done. Department. Then let's say we have physiology, we have biochemistry, we have anatomy, and we have computer science. So I'll select D. So let's check if everything is fine now. Let's just try this. Okay, if I miss the 2, 0, good. Let's get 1, correct. Let's get the 2, correct. Let's miss 1, good. Let's miss the 2. So everything is working fine again. So we've been able to reduce the code or shorten the code with this part. We are done with the task. I think the only thing left is maybe to make it more beautiful and all. But we are here to do styling. So once we do styling, we'll be able to make our page more beautiful. But with this now, you can have some set of codes for your CBT if you are building a CBT system. So we also remove the nested loop. Initially we were using nested loop, and I was like, using nested loop, we affect the performance of your application. It will make it slow, especially if you have a lot of questions. So in fact, we are not even using any loop at all. But you need to be able to manage this display question well, so that it's not going to display the result until it's clicked upon. Right? Let's even do it. I think there's still a little bug to be fixed, because if I'm still clicking, I want to hide this again. I don't want to display this at all. I don't want to. So we can do it this way by saying set display score, set it to false. So I think that should solve that problem. Now, so once you are still clicking, good, until you click on submit, then you see your score. Then once you start answering again, it gets hidden until you click on submit. Good. So good. Yeah. Any questions so far? I think we've been able to complete the task. Let's stop here tonight. Please go to it, watch it. If you have any question on it after watching it, please let me know. So at this point, I feel we can continue with the class. What I just want us to do is that I wanted us to use everything we've learned so far to solve a small task, and that's what we've done. So we've completed this task, then we can proceed and learn new things, right, and complete it. We are almost done. We are close to the end of ReactJS, so in about maybe few classes more, we should round off ReactJS, and hopefully we can do another task again to wrap everything off. So thanks for coming. Good to have us. Have a lovely night, guys. Thank you.